One Sunday, I entrained for Baliwag, a town in Bulacan which can well afford to hold two fiestas a year without a call. I took the train partly because I am prejudiced in the favor of the government-owned railroad, partly because I am allowed comparative comfort in a coach, and finally because trains sometimes leave and arrive according to schedule. In the coach, I found a little world, a section of the abstraction called humanity, whom we are supposed to love and live for. Inertia, I suppose, and the sort of reality we moderns know make falling in love with my immediate neighbors often a matter of severe strain and effort to me. First, there came to my notice three husky individuals who dusted their seats furiously with their handkerchiefs without regard to hygiene or the brotherhood of men. It gave me no little annoyance that on such a quiet morning, the unpleasant aspects in other people's ways should claim my attention. A harmless looking middle aged man in green camisa de chino with rolled sleeves who must have entered asleep when I noticed him. He was already snugly entrenched in a corner seat, with his slippered feet comfortably planted on the opposite seat. All the while his head danced and dangled with the motion of the train. A child of 6 in the next seat might have shared with me in speculating about the dreams of the sleeping man in green. But the party that most engaged my attention was a family of 8, composed of a short but efficient father, 4 very young children, mother, grandmother, and another woman who must have been the efficient father's sister. They distributed themselves on 4 benches. He removed his coat, folded it carefully, and slung it on the back of his seat. Then, the short, young, and efficient father stood up and pulled out 2 banana leaf bundles from a basket and spread out both bundles on one bench. With the efficient father leading the charge, the children began to dig away with little encouragement and aid from the elders. Then came the water fetching ritual. The father, with a glass in hand, led the march to the train faucet, followed by 3 children whose faces still showed the marks of a hard fought battle. In one of the stations where the train stopped, a bent old woman boarded this train. As it moved away, the old woman went about the coach, begging, holding every prospective Samaritan by the arm, and stretching forth her gnarled hand in the familiar fashion so distasteful to me at that time. Willy-nilly, I dropped a coin and thereby filled my life with repulsion. While thus engaged in unwholesome thought, I felt myself jerked as the train made a curve to the right. Each would mind their own business and suffer in silence for the littlest mistake of others, laughing at their ways if we happened to be in a position to suspend our emotion and view the whole scene as a god would. Or we could weep for other men if we are the mood to shed copious tears over the whole tragic aspect of a world thrown out of joint. It is strange how human sympathy operates. We assume an attitude of complete indifference to utter strangers whom we have seen but not met. We claim that they are the hardest to fall in love with in the normal exercise of Christian charity. Then, a little child falls from a seat, or a beggar stretches forth a gnarled hand, or 3 men dust their seats, and we are, despite our pretensions, affected.